What a start. Here are a few key takeaways that I love per session. So we had Ron start the day off chatting about sourcing off-market deals. My key takeaways, you need to educate the seller on the process. They won't be used to it. And also when you're sourcing your own deals, get ready for a ton of GFYs. Go after yourself. Next, we heard from Sam in the investor's perspective. He mentioned that investors back great operators and leaders to buy great businesses. And he also mentioned that you need to prioritize your financial acumen. Then we heard from Mike talking about how to prepare a business for sale. And he said two interesting things. One, he said you need to let go of your unicorn dreams. This is also known as M&A porn. That story where someone bought this business for $60,000 and now it does millions in revenue. And he also mentioned that sellers need to figure out how the buyer will pay for the acquisition. It's actually the seller's problem more than the buyer's. Then we heard from David on understanding the cash flow or understanding cash flow as a buyer. He mentioned two interesting things. One was the language used in the micro M&A or the SMB space is a lot different than the language used on Bay Street and Wall Street. So understand that. He also mentioned that regardless of the multiple, the deal must sufficiently cash flow. Then we heard from Rochelle about keeping a good management team in the business you're acquiring. She said two interesting things as well. The first is the last thing you want to do is buy a business and the entire workforce jump ship. And she also mentioned that about 75% of baby boomers regret leaving their company within 12 months of retirement. And then we ended off the day just moments ago with Nate. He chatted about the 3 pillars for due diligence success. This session was packed with a ton of content. He mentioned that good due diligence is about combating chaos. He also mentioned that the goal of financial diligence is to verify financial performance. The goal of operational diligence is twofold. One, to identify risk, and the other is to start to get a sense of the value creation and opportunities within the business. And then the goal of commercial diligence is really to identify the growth opportunities. And you do that in 2 ways: externally with market and competitor analysis, and then internally with customer analysis and business plan. And then he said something that really stuck with me. He mentioned that it's not about finding a business with no risk, because that doesn't exist. All business has some level of risk. It's about identifying the risk and then being comfortable with it. So I had a lot of fun today. My notepad or my laptop is completely full with notes. So remember, you can check out all the sessions today in the replay tab. And then tomorrow we have another full day. My opening remarks will be at 10:45 a.m. Eastern. And then Deb Curtis will kick off the conference at 11 a.m. Eastern as she chats about SBA financing. Have a great evening and see you tomorrow.